it's not very easy to travel to our country, except for the very interested ones. Therefore, any event which has manifold impact on awareness of our country, whether it is about polity, whether it's about economy, or whether it is about culture, within which religion is enfolded, I think is going to contribute towards country's future stability and international position of Bhutan. So, in general, if we can attract significant number of people with very significant influence elsewhere, it is a contribution. Now we had 2 years of relative isolation, and this is the first major event after the opening of our border. And I'm very glad that with the help of Royal Government of Bhutan, International Buddhist Confederation, and unstinting support of our staff, we are able to launch this major event. Major in the sense that about 250 foreigners will attend this conference. Most of them are already here. So relative to the size of our institution, to attract 250 speakers and participants who will then interact with Bhutanese who have registered, about 400 of them, is, I think, quite a good event to start with after the pandemic. But the key idea over here is that certain insights developed by Buddhist thinkers with regard to economy, life, organization, morality, art, architecture, all these things are not antiquated. It is not antiquated. Some of them have poignant relevance to today's complicated and fast-changing world. So modernity in Buddhism implies this idea that they speak to the contemporary problems, and we can draw on the resources of Vajrayana Buddhism. Well, the speakers is not limited to 80. Actually, the number of proposed presenters goes to about 130, but we can only fit in so many in 4 days. Earlier it used to be 3 days, but the number of worthy papers are such a lot that we have to extend it to 4 days. Even then, some of them have to be sort of excluded because simply there is no time, even though there is merit of amongst those papers. And they have come from many institutions across the world. For example, about 37 nations will be represented at this time. And the speakers and participants are a tremendous rich mix. Most of them are scholars on Vajrayana Buddhism and Buddhism in general. But the special feature of our conference is that it also draws spiritual leaders. This is not always the case in a conference. Either it is composed only of scholars or only of spiritual leaders. But here there is a mixture, good mixture, so that a great dialogue can take place between speakers who are scholars and spiritual leaders, and this kind of gives really good direction for the participants, good directions. One, in the world of scholarship and ideas, separating, what is myth from, for example, actual events. What is fact from what is facts from archetypal models. So this is the interesting characteristics of our presentations and events. But I must say that it is predominantly scholars from universities, special Buddhist institutions, who have carried out deep research on Vajrayana Buddhism. Some people might suspiciously wonder why Center for Bhutan Studies is into this kind of thing, but we have to remember the long backdrop which has influenced our identity. And in the multiple strands of identities of the Bhutanese, Vajrayana Buddhism is a very important factor, important enriching factor at the individual level, at the institutional level, and at the broader sort of cultural level, which has influenced our society and its members. So we do have some responsibility as a nation to renew Vajrayana Buddhism in every possible way, and to apply the insights from Vajrayana Buddhism to our modern emerging world, which is full of challenges. So this is the key reason why the government in the past decided to task CBS with regular International Vajrayana Conference. It is slightly challenging because of time compression for preparing this sort of thing. We in the center, many other events are going on involving other ministries, exhibition, and so and so. So there is sometimes conflict in space use, but we are always willing to accommodate this kind of parallel events. Now, the most important thing is the contribution by our staff towards organizing the conference to reduce the cost, for example, like yourself, the journalist team here, if you have to hire, the cost is going to be daunting and impossible for us to accommodate. Likewise, if you have to buy food from the caterers, cost will be astronomical. So our expert staff in terms of cooking and purchasing of provisions, they have jumped in to reduce the cost, so it is to the extent possible, everything is done in-house, like protocol services for the VIP speakers are nobody else from outside but our staff. And it goes on so and so forth. Everything, production of brochures, banners, cleaning, are all undertaken by our staff. But that also indicates the flexibility and multidimensionality of individuals here. And that is what we should aim for in life, to extend our skills and aptitude in all directions. But the financial contribution this time comes from the International Buddhist Confederation, our partner, in this endeavor, along with the central monastic body of Bhutan. Some of the ideas for solutions regarding value orientation, regarding sustainability, regarding climate change, regarding feminism, regarding inequality, can be tapped from Buddhist resources. So that is the reason why we are providing this platform internationally. One of our dreams, collective dreams here, as you know, is that International Vajrayana Buddhism should become a kind of spiritual Davos series. And what better to hold it in our country, in the Himalayas.